Oh boy.
Oh, what's the matter?
I have a vague idea of what's in this box, but I have to make a piece of art with it, and I've got like 2 days to do it.
Hey, Chief, did you say 2 days?
So, you're gonna be as surprised as I am what's actually in here, and we're gonna see if we can't make this into something pretty. Let's see what's in the box. I need a box cutter. Can't find a box cutter, we'll use a chisel.
Hey, you're really just hacking away at that, aren't you, bud?
There is a crosscut slab. Some people call it a cookie, and I think it's of ambrosia maple. And I don't know what I want to do with it yet, whether that's going to involve resin or not, cutting it. I don't know. We're going to see if I can be an artist today, see what the wood tells me to do, and then just elevate it. Hell of a wrapping job. Getting there. Oh, okay. Yeah. I see some wood.
I bet it's so pristine.
All right, I've already scratched the wood.
Damn.
Oh, damn, that's pretty. The box originally held a 7-foot-tall animated Frankenstein. There's a bee. There's a bee. All right, what the hell is going on here? Holy shit, that's pretty. This bee, sir, go away. Oh. Wow.
Alright, the first thing we need to do is find the center of this tree. It's right here. Damn, I'm good. Then I'm gonna want to cut it right about here so I miss this thing, and this thing. Then I also want to cut it right about here because I want to make 4 quadrants that are perpendicular to each other. Now because I'm a disorganized sack of shit, and I have literally no other room on any of my other work tables, I have to make a brand new shitty table so I have somewhere to make my artwork. Yeah, this piece of plywood should be just fine. Clamp it down, remove the head, and the rest is good to eat. And that concludes my tutorial for how to make a table that art can be made on. So yeah, like and subscribe.
Now we'll keep making art here, and to do that I need to cut this thing up into quarters. I'm going to use a track saw to do it. I'd really recommend this tool. You put the track down on your workpiece and you don't even need to clamp it there. The weight of the saw keeps the track into place, and this thing's a super efficient way to cut really straight lines. The only thing I don't like about it is that this one seems to get a little tired when it's cutting through thicker pieces of wood, so I thought, well, I'll just take it to the table saw instead. The table saw's got to be more powerful, right? Well, it turns out that this slab has a lot of internal forces going on, so it just ate my blade. It just pinched it to a halt. So there's this concept in woodworking where projects take twice the amount of material cost and twice the amount of time that you originally estimate. And it's true. When I'm making my estimates, I don't plan for something like this. And if you look, I almost sterilized myself right here. But nonetheless, we're going to keep on going. The issue is that internal stress challenge hasn't gone away. That leading edge of the live edge wants to pinch my blade to a halt. So I'm going to go back and forth to cut away the pinch, but you see how hard this piece of wood is. It's literally smoking every time I try to make progress. I mean, I thought the damn thing was going to catch on fire with how much smoke was pouring out of this. Nonetheless, we do get it cut, and you can see how much that blade was burning my wood from how hot it was getting. The center of the slab now becomes the 4 exterior corners, and this is where we start to make some art. Now this next step's a really cool visual, but it takes a second. So to pass the time, I've written you this song. I'm making some art on a wobbly ass table. My wood of choice is some ambrosia maple. I'm a scientist. I'm cooking in my lab, but instead of chemicals, got a crosscut slab. I cut that shit up. I chose chaos, not order, like my business calendar. I divide it into quarters. I'm drawing these lines. The shit's patterned like a zebra. You're mesmerized by my concentric amoebas. And if we take the slabs away, we reveal an interesting pattern. Now zooming in, you can see these tiny numbers that I've drawn. Each number corresponds to a different depth. As you go more exterior towards the slabs, the depth is going to decrease. And I've made this depth guide. Each of the numbers on here corresponds with those numbers on the actual piece. It's kind of like a paint by number, but instead it's an excavate to a specific depth by number. So using that depth guide, I set the bit of the router as deep as it possibly will go, and then I excavate the most interior amoeba blob. Then I set that router bit to the next deepest level, and that corresponds to the next amoeba shape. Yeah, and pardon my big ass head being in the way. Then for the third amoeba, we have the third depth. Then a couple seconds of mediocre footage, and the head's back in the way. All in all, this probably took somewhere around 8 to 12 hours to completely excavate every single one of these layers. The difficult part about something like this is that for every single one of those layers, you have to be perfect. If I had one false movement of the router bit and had some sort of gouge in one of the layers, it would have completely ruined the entire effect. So it's pretty stressful work. It was really tedious work, but nonetheless, it started coming out really nicely. And I know there's going to be people out there who say, hey, you should have used a CNC machine. And I don't know what those three letters stand for, but I can almost guarantee you that one of the C's stands for computers. It's essentially this router tool that I'm using, but instead of me operating it, it's a computer telling that bit where to go. And I don't know, I think there's something to be said about my monkey hands and my monkey brain using this tool. There's emotions behind it. There's a story behind this piece of art. You wouldn't get that with a computer. Like, I can tell you that it's my monkey hands and my monkey brain that decided, hey, I want to make sure I do that same pattern underneath the hole in that one piece of wood. And I did it the exact same way that I did the rest of this piece. But, a computer wouldn't know to do that. A monkey would. As I kept making this piece, it really reminded me of a topography map where the live edge slabs are some sort of natural rock formation, and you see how the land has these different elevations because of those formations. I actually wanted to make sure that I burned this wood. Without doing it, I really thought that each of the layers kind of faded into one another, but when I burned it, you could really have all those layers accentuated and you could see them super easily. Some people like that I burned it. Some people thought that I should have left it natural, but I guess different opinions, that's what art is, right? And to finish this thing, I'm not too worried about the durability of it just because it's wall art, so I'm not going to use anything too crazy. I'm just going to use a mixture of mineral oil and beeswax, and you see how all the colors of that ambrosia maple just pop out immediately. Bang! Look at that thing, though. I don't know. I thought it was really pretty. I've never seen something like this before. I had a blast making it. Someone bought it really quickly, actually. And most importantly, my mom thought it was pretty. So the project was a success. But yeah, like and subscribe if you're into this sort of stuff. I don't know. I think I make cool shit and I have a good time doing it. We'll see you next time.